Today on Turner Classic Movies, we're spending the day with Bette Davis as Summer Under the Stars continues. Next, Betty takes on her corrupt brothers in her drive for wealth in The Little Foxes. Then respected author Betty stirs up envy in childhood friend Miriam Hopkins in Old Acquaintance. And wealthy socialite Betty gets all caught up in a torrid love triangle in the melodrama The Great Lie. Betty has the emotions flying today here on Turner Classic Movies.
One moment, please. Hello. Inspector Clouseau?
After I directed Peter Sellers in the first Pink Panther film, I swore I'd never work with him again.
We must find that woman.
But I did. I directed him in 5 more films, including 4 Pink Panthers, because as maddening as he could be...
Jacques?
Yes, madame?
I really don't think it's such a good idea.
he was also wonderful at times. That's how it was with Peter. He was a man of extremes with nothing in between. I met Peter in 1962 when he was hired to play Inspector Jacques Clouseau in the Pink Panther. I knew very little about him except that he was from England and that he'd been in British films.
You do judo with the lady?
Yeah, she's a yellow belt, I'm a green belt. That's the way nature made it. What happens is she throws me all over the place.
Our first meeting went well, and we realized we both loved some of the great old comedians like Buster Keaton and especially Laurel and Hardy. We compared notes on Inspector Clouseau and brought him to life. Sometimes working with Sellers was literally the best experience I've ever had in making films, because he could be irresistible. And when things were right, everything clicked.
Does your dear go bad? Oh. Nice dig. I thought you said your dog did not bite. That is not my talk.
At other times, working with Peter could be the worst kind of experience. He would stay in character on and off the set. He seemed to enjoy doing that, I think, because it got him away from being Peter Sellers. But because the character was only make-believe with no real roots, he got tired of it. He'd get depressed, anxious, or even hostile with other actors.
One drink is all I ask. Otherwise I shall hold my breath until all the life goes out of my body.
He became an enemy among friends.
Excuse me, but we film people must give vent to our feelings.
What's more, Peter was wildly superstitious. He spoke with his psychic every day. One night, Peter called me to tell me he had spoken with God and not to worry about a scene we were shooting, because God had told him how to do it. The next day, he did the scene as per God's instructions.
Now then, for this shot, I absolutely need to have the 14 reflex. Not that reflex.
I made the big mistake of telling him to tell God to stay the hell out of show business. Believe it or not, Peter Sellers was not a great physical comedian. He really had to work at it. And his health problems didn't help. But he could take the characters that I brought him and inhabit them using makeup and props. That's when Peter was at his absolute best.
Please, doctor. The pain is getting worse. Please, hurry up. A few whiffs of this, and you won't feel a thing.
Good evening, Dr. Hombards.
Peter was impeccable with accents.
Who are you?
I am Dr. Senf.
Horundi Vipaksi.
Pardon?
That is what my name is called.
Even Peter's American accent was flawless.
Now then, Dmitri, you know how we've always talked about the possibility of something going wrong with the bomb.
I believe the character who was closest to the real Peter Sellers was Dr. Strangelove, the mad scientist.
A moment, please, Mr. President.
Peter was obsessed with power figures. There's a classic Sellers invention. I really love him in that movie. Even though we made 6 films together, I can't tell you who Peter Sellers was. I don't think he knew who he was. Peter Sellers was who he was playing at a particular moment, whether it was in front of the camera or out at a restaurant. I can tell you what his legacy is. In spite of the anger, conflict, and bitterness he created, what he has left us with is humor. It's that simple. Peter Sellers entertained a lot of people, and he made a lot of people laugh. And every time one of his characters appears on the screen, he does it again. For Turner Classic Movies, I'm Blake Edwards.
See all sides of Peter Sellers during his day-long Star Salute, Friday beginning at 6 a.m. Eastern, part of our Summer Under the Stars, here on Turner Classic Movies.